Hey everybody! Welcome back to Big Hair Gaming. We're here with another video covering our favorite game, Last War. So, I've been out for quite a little while. I want to thank everybody for their patience. I got a couple of messages from folks checking in on me. Thanks so much. I've been a bit sick for the past month or so, almost a month. Where it was just like I've had like a really bad cough that I just like could not shake, and it was messing up my voice and everything. It was like I would try to record stuff and I would just keep coughing and keep coughing. It was a massive pain, but I'm doing quite a lot better now. So thanks so much for sticking around, all that sorts of stuff. But we got some good stuff to get into today. So with that, let's jump on in. So today we're going over the engineer's profession for season 3. What we're going to do is we're going to go over from bottom to top all the way up from level 1 to level 100, and we'll go over all the stuff that I think is worth grabbing and stuff that I think is probably worth skipping over so you can save those points somewhere else. But with that, let's hop on in. So, number one, one of my favorite skills in the engineer skill tree, one of the things I think that everybody should absolutely take if you're an engineer, is rapid production. So you use this skill, and at max level, you're going to get 24 hours of in-base resources from your food, iron, and coin all at once. And because it is determined based off of your output per hour here, anything that modifies that is going to also give you a boost to your rapid production, which includes the Secretary of Interior buff, which grants you a 100% increase to your base resource production. So with that, if you grab that every single day, that's going to give you a whole bunch of resources that you're going to have access to, that you can use for building and research and all sorts, and generating troops, all that sorts of stuff. Now, number 2, outstanding contribution. We've seen this before. It's just going to give you more alliance points per alliance points. Very simple. 1 skill point, you definitely want to grab it. Extra meal, also easy take. It's just going to give you more daily free stamina for every time that you do it. So instead of getting 50 per use, you'll get 75 per use. Very good. 1 skill point, definitely take it. Next one is Siege Mastery, which is going to be which has a much better use in seasons 2 and 3, where for seasons 2 and 3 you have your Alliance Furnace battles in season 2, and you have the Spice War of season 3. Both of these can benefit from the Ruin Removal feature, which is going to allow you to basically clear out enemy bases that have been ruined. And what you can do is, like, in the same way you attack the base, you can attack, quote unquote, the ruins and get rid of them on the map, and make it so that only your alliance has access to move to that space for the next 5 minutes. This is particularly useful during the Spice War. If anybody, like when everybody clumps up together because they're ready to defend their alliance center, if anybody doesn't have their shield up and you're able to attack, you can knock their base out of there and then save a space for someone on your alliance to grab it and then move there. So pretty useful. Otherwise, I don't care for the extra durability damage most of the time, because I like to be able to hit my enemies more frequently for battle day and when I'm gathering resources, because then I can kill more of their troops, or I can steal more of their resources. So for me, I don't take Siege Mastery beyond just the first point of it, just for that Ruin Removal feature. But that's how I like to play. Cool. Before we get too far along, I just want to take a quick moment to say that if you're enjoying the video, if it's helping you out, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment down below, even if it's just thanks for the video, because all that stuff does help out my channel, and I do really appreciate it. But let's keep it going. Moving on up to level 10, we got Build for Free and Research for Free. Now, both of these, I think at level 5, grant you, I want to say 4 hours of free speed up time that just gets tacked on to the beginning of your use when you're doing a build, which is not bad. However, instead of both of these, I prefer the 2 that you gain access to right after, which is Build Now and Research Now, which are going to give you 600 minutes for every item that you're currently constructing, as well as 1,200 minutes for each research that you're currently undergoing as well. For folks who are doing like more long form builds, for example, my headquarters is going to take another 16 days. You know, I got 24 days left over here. I got 21 days left over here. I'm going to be able to use Build Now and Research Now multiple times over that time frame, and I'm going to get like way more bang for my buck here than I will for like a measly 4 hours at the beginning of the construction or the beginning of the research. For me, I'm like, who cares about 4 hours when I can clear, you know, several hours over multiple weeks with the same amount of skill point investment. So that's why I don't prefer to take those. Also, we got 100 levels to get through, so you got to start looking for reasons to not take stuff, and that's mine. So moving on, we got Rally Rush, which is going to increase the speed of your troops joining or returning from rallies, up to 50% increase at max level. And then you have Siege Banner, which is a real nice skill, which gives you the ability to, at will, increase your durability damage of your allies for everybody who's within the banner's range. It lasts for 30 minutes and has a 3-day cooldown, and you can stack it up to 5 times if you and your allies also use the same skill. Now, I really like Siege Banner. Siege Banner is great to use for Seasons 2 and Season 3 when you're fighting the Alliance Furnace or you're doing the Spice War. Both of those things are super good, so make sure you actually do remember to use the skill during that time. For me, I just don't really care about stuff that like decreases my rally time or my movement speed like too much. Like Rally Rush is definitely like, you know, pretty decent and can also be helpful for those siege battles. Or for the Spice War or for the Soil War, because if you can hit your opponents before they can reinforce, like that's obviously better. But for me, I just don't care about it that much. It's not a big deal for me. Moving on up, we have Siege Inspiration, which is going to give you increased EXP for your profession when you're damaging silly durability. I don't prefer to take this one just because I don't spend that much time doing it. Compared to like everything else in the game, so it's just like, I mean, how much EXP am I really getting from it anyway? And to get like a 60% increase on that, I'm like, not a big deal. Similarly, Friendly Aid, when you reinforce an ally's base, the casualty rate of the drill ground units will decrease, and it doesn't stack. For me, when I'm reinforcing an ally's base, it's not because I just want to save them some troops and I hope they take less damage. I'm there to stop them from being damaged altogether. So like the focus of Friendly Aid and like what I'm there to do not coincide, so I don't take this skill. Moving on up, 2 skills that are like absolute like staples of being an engineer, period, is Cooperative Construction and Cooperative Research, both of which are going to grant you a 20% increase to your base construction or research speed for you and an ally. So whenever they grab any of the capital buffs, you can also tack this on top, and they do stack, which is very nice. Big boost. It works for you. It works for an ally. Definitely one of the staples of being an engineer, and one of the bonuses, or the biggest bonuses of being an engineer, is being able to help your allies as well as yourself. Speaking of which, here at level 35, we got 2 skills, Resource Saving and Recycling, both of which are going to decrease the amount of resources that you use for both building and research, respectively, up to 5% for both, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, and you might be like, 5%, that's nothing. However, once you get to level 30 and you start working on those T10 troops, you are going to be spending billions of resources. So, you know, saving a couple 100,000 resources per build or per construct is gonna add up, and it's just gonna let you do more with what you have. So try to be as economical as you can. Definitely, I recommend taking both of these. They were a nice little help as I was pushing myself to level 30. Moving along, we have 2 skills, Medical Aid, which is going to increase your hospital's capacity by 50% for both you and an ally for 4 hours. With a 3-day cooldown. This skill is super duper helpful. Having 50% more capacity in your hospital, like all those times where like you might be a little bit too slow in healing your troops, you just have a bit more extra backing and a bit more cushion to save even more troops over that time. And it's especially helpful just because it lasts for so long. So for me, I tend to use this for like one of my alliance's heavy hitters to make sure that they can just keep doing what they do better and longer. The other is Buddy Shield, which is also a super powerful skill. Basically, you can activate a shield for 4 hours at max level. That's going to be level 3. For yourself or an ally, and it cools down every 3 days. It doesn't stack with any other shield or any other effect or whatever, but it's super helpful, especially during battle day, when a friend who is unshielded and they're just like 5 or 10 minutes late, and you know that all it takes is like a minute to absolutely wipe their base off the map. So having this skill to be able to save your friends, big help. Moving on up, level 45, we have Drone Supply, which is going to grant you a bunch of little drone parts and components that you can get here. Now, I actually recommend that you only take this to level 4, and the reason is as follows. At level 4, you're going to get 3 drone parts, 2 common skill chip chests, and 2 level 1 drone component chests. And at level 5, the only change is that you just get 1 more common skill chip chest. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't value common skill chip chests that much. Not enough to spend a whole nother point just to get one of them. I'm totally content with the bonuses that you get from level 4. Level 4 is where you start getting drone component chests, and because you can use this skill every day, that's where I think it really comes into shine, because you have a tremendous grind ahead of you for how many drone parts you're going to need. So anything that gets you more free drone parts is a big plus in my book. Moving along, we have a Fearless Defense, which when defending a base, when defending your base, a proportion of the attacking units will be killed based on their level and the number of your fallen units. And you can bump this up to 5%. For me, that's just like not really enough to be meaningful. Nobody's going to stop attacking me because 5% of their units are dying when they attack. So I'm like, for me, 5 skill points investment, not worth it. Next up, we've got Random Visitors, and I used to have this skill. I think at level 5, it becomes a skill that you can use every day, and you'll get a random survivor. And we also have Durability Mine, which allows you to put down a landmine on the battlefield. You can only use it on your server. It only affects people who are not from your server. So anybody who you might be at odds with, who's on your server, who's bothering you or whatever, it's not going to work against them. You can store up to 2 of them. It cools down every 3 days, and the mine lasts for 24 hours. It'll deal them a certain amount of damage, and at maximum level, it can set their base on fire. For me, I don't really care about Durability Mine. Like, it's a lot of points to do something that is functionally like not that important. Like, nobody's gonna stop attacking you because they land on a mine or because their base is on fire. Like, so it's fun to put down mines for sure. But like, will it do anything? Probably not. Now, as for Random Visitors, I really wish they would give you like the percentages of your chance of getting like a really good visitor, like a legendary one. Because I think in the time that I had this, I had it for like quite a while, like a season or something like that. And I don't think I ever got like a really fancy visitor from the Random Visitor skill. So I just eventually just kind of toss it to the side. But a skill that I do really like is the one more skill, which is going to increase, or rather give you up to a 25% chance to double your rewards per daily task point chest that you open. The daily task point chest is going to be these over here, and you get 5 of them every single day that you can open. So for me, because you can get drone parts in this, and then like I said before, anything that can get you extra drone parts is probably worth like at least a little bit of investment, which is why I go for it. But yeah, you do 5 of these chests every day, so you're pretty much bound to get a double almost every day, if not every day. Sometimes I get more than just one, so that's nice. Next up, we have Support Boost, which is going to give you a 30-second increase to your help time. Per skill point investment up to 2.5 minutes. For me, I don't bother to invest in this one just because my help time is already really good. I think I get 30 minutes per help, and I get 24 helps. So, and there's later on, there's a skill that increases the helpers that you get rather than this help time. And as we saw from another video, you can check that out. I'll have it in the description. Helpers is more important than help time, generally speaking. There's with a little bit of asterisk on that, and if you want to know the details, you can watch the video. But I prefer to skip this one because later on we'll see one for helpers, and I do recommend grabbing a couple for that. Now, going on up, level 60, we've got Efficient Gathering, which is just a very simple gathering speed increase, up to 25% at max level. And we have First Aid Expert, which is similarly like a increase to the number of troops that are going to enter the emergency center, up to 5% at max level. Now for gathering, I'm not super concerned about like speeding up my gathering. I already have some gathering boosts. Like, part of gathering is waiting, and I don't mind waiting. So I'm not spending the 5 skill points here, especially when I got other cool stuff that I could spend them on that's coming up down the pipe. First Aid Expert, like, I'm not even gonna notice 5% more troops going in, and like when my troops are going into the hospital, like it usually fills up anyway. So I'm not really concerned about like needing more to go in there. It's not a big deal for me. Second, moving up, we got Battlefield Cleanup, which is going to increase the amount of resources that you get from the Zombies, Ironhead, Glutton, Miser, as well as Doom Elites, and it'll increase it by 10% at max level. And then we have Master Builder, real simple, building speed increase, 25% at max level. Pretty good. So for me, I don't care for Battlefield Cleanup because I never am killing like the baby zombies for 5 energy a pop or whatever, or I'm killing Doom Elites because it gets me a whole lot of money. Like that's not why I do it. I kill those things because I need to spend energy for the drone arms race. So like that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it to get coins or whatever. Like they don't give you that much anyway, so I'm not really concerned about them giving me 10% more. That's not a lot. For 5 skill points, I got more cool things I could do with 5 skill points. For example, the reason that I take Master Builder is because like if I'm getting all the building speed increase, that's speed ups I don't have to use. So like especially for generic speed ups, those are speed ups I can use for research. They grant me more power, like all that sorts of stuff. I'm not really concerned. I am very concerned about saving speed ups where I can, and like Master Builder helps my super long builds. Like for my headquarters, I've got a 48-day wait down from 122 days. Like that's the kind of stuff that I like to see of like those big reductions in time. Like that's where the it really comes into play for me. Let's keep it going. So I said, 5 skill points for this, not that important. 5 skill points for instant gathering though. Pretty sick. So I was skeptical of instant gathering. Basically, the way that it works is you send out your squads to go gather resources. You hit this button, and then they come back with all the resources from those nodes immediately. You can use it every single day. It only works in your war zone, so you can't go to other war zones and use your instant gathering skill, which is, I don't even know why, but whatever. I guess it's to stop people from doing a concerted effort to take all the nodes in other servers, but I don't know. It only works on your server, and you can do it every single day. So it's especially valuable on Mondays when you're doing gather day. You can get a little bit of extra points, up to 4 squads worth right off the rip, which is pretty sick. But yeah, good skill. I recommend taking it. I was skeptical of it for a while, but I like it. I don't think it's not an absolute game changer, but it's fun and it's good. So that's enough for me. Moving on, we got monster tracking, which is going to increase your march speed against monsters up to 25% at max level. For me, I don't care how long it takes to get to monsters. Like, they're not that far. Like at best, like most Doom Elites are like 3 seconds away from your base anyway, so I don't really care about like a 25% increase. Like, yeah, it works for the wandering bosses or whatever, but I'm like, that's not that far either, so who cares? But up next, we got Win-Win Cooperation. It's a 1 skill point investment, and it's a skill that can only be used on the war leader. It's going to reduce their construction and their tech research by 5% for 24 hours, and you get some cool rewards when you do it. This is kind of like a neat skill where it's like a little bit like odd. Where like you get like some speed ups, you get like a little bit of like a rinky-dink amount of resources, but like it helps your war leaders out. So anybody in your alliance who has the war leader profession, you can use it on them. A little bit of the thing that's kind of annoying is like you don't have a way to know who has the war leader profession, so you just have to click on people randomly. So usually what I'll do is I'll just use it on my alliance's what is it called, warmonger, or whatever the leadership profession is for the war leader thing or whatever, because they're always going to be a war leader most likely, so I just use it on them so I don't have to click around trying to figure out who's got the profession. Next up, we got free teleport. You get 3 free teleports. They refresh 3 days, every 3 days, and you can store up to 3 of them at a time. Easy take, 3 skill points, free advanced teleporters. Like, just take it. It's easy peasy. Next up, we got truck expansion, which increases the amount of food, iron, and coins that you get traded by the truck. I threw a couple levels in this just to get like a little bit of a boost. You can see I kind of split 5 skill points between this and our other skill, Helping Hand, which increases the number of helps that you receive by 1 per skill point investment up to level 5. If I have some extra skill points at the end, once I get to level 100 and I get everything that I want, if I have extra skill points, I'll come throw them into Helping Hand. Like I said before, more helpers is better than slightly more time. So definitely take this. Like if I take this is 30 minutes more of help time per skill point. Whereas the other one is like, maybe like an hour or something like that. Whatever, I don't know. An hour total. Alrighty, and let's move on along up to level 85. We've got Speed Up Box, which is going to grant you 5 random speed ups. You can do it every single day. I'm a big fan of these like use everyday skills that just give you stuff. Now I've heard that you can get 8-hour speed ups from this skill. I have not yet gotten an 8-hour speed up from this skill. But if I do, I'll be sure to post a little, make a little short about it, just to let you know that like I did confirm it to happen. I haven't seen it happen yet, but you do it every day, so I figure like the drop rates for it are just really low, is what I'm guessing. Alrighty, moving along, we got emergency capacity, which is going to increase the capacity of the emergency center. 250 is what I'm assuming this maxes out at. I'm not spending 5 skill points for an extra 250 troops in the emergency center. Like, sorry, not sorry. Garbage. Moving along, we got Willing Helper, which is when helping allies, you earn an extra 50 alliance contribution points that does not affect the contribution rankings. I took it at the first level. You get 4 times that you can do it. I don't really know how I feel about this. I never really perceive that I'm getting like the extra points, so I just kind of took it to try it out. I put 1 skill point into it. I'm not sure. Moving along, up next we have Enhanced Siege Banner. It should be Enhanced Siege Banner, which is going to upgrade the Siege Banner so that you grant a additional 10% to your rally and march speed. It lasts for 30 minutes, cools down every 3 days, and it does stack with the other banners up to 5 times, which is really good. I really like the Siege Banner because it gives you the ability to dynamically choose when you want to deal more durability damage or not. Like I said earlier in the video, I like doing more damage when I'm fighting, when I'm doing the alliance stuff, when I'm doing the spice war, when I'm doing the soil war. Absolutely, give me more damage. When I'm like hitting bases and stuff, I'm like, I don't care. Not a big deal. Alrighty, with our home stretch, our last 4 skills. I'm not yet at this level. I'm not at 95 yet, nor 100. So I can't speak to having used these skills, but I got eyes and I can read what they do, so I can tell you what I'm thinking. And it's Cooperative Construction 2, and we got Cooperative Research 2, which are just going to give you at maximum level a 25% boost to the original skills that you already have. So that's going to give you, I'm going to assume it's 25% because you get 5% right here. But that's going to give you a 45% boost to construction and to research respectively for you and an ally, and it stacks with the capital buffs as well. So I'm looking forward to getting both of these. Hopefully I'll be able to max them out. If not, that's not a big deal. But we do have 2 skills coming up for the final level 100. First one is going to be Blast, which you can use on your base to activate War Fever mode, which is going to trigger a 60-second blast countdown. The blast will damage nearby base tiles. 3 ones, which is basically like the adjacent bases nearby, which will reduce their durability by 25%. It only costs 1 skill point, so I'll probably try it out. The only use case I can think that this will be good is when you're doing like the soil war, sorry, not soil war, when you're doing the spice war, and all of your opponents are all clustered together and they're really close, they're really tight, and they don't want to move, because 60 seconds is like a long time. Where like if they want to run away, then they will. But like if they, I think there is like a little bit of the intimidation factor here, where like they'll see the timer going down and they might panic and they might think that their base is going to be destroyed or they'll lose a bunch of troops. So I think like maybe you'll be able to deal some psychological damage because they'll worry about what will happen. Otherwise, like you just might be able to get some extra damage on them, might be able to damage some bases that you otherwise won't be able to hit anyway. But at the very least, you can set them on fire, deal them make them a little bit annoyed. But it is 1 skill point, so I'm down to spend 1 skill point for something that's fun but not necessarily game-changing. And then finally, we have a skill that I actually am really looking forward to, which is One More Time. And when you're using an active skill with the hexagon-shaped icon, those are your active ones. That's your rapid production. That's your research skill, your construction skills, like those kinds of stuff. There is a 4% chance, I believe that's a 20% chance at max level 5, but a 4 to 20% chance that each skill sorry, to skip that skill's cooldown. So each skill can trigger this event only once per day. So basically, once a day, you have a 20% chance whenever you use any active ability that like it just doesn't like it triggers the ability, but you still have the skill, so you can use it again. And for me, like my biggest want for this is I would love for this to proc for like research now, build for now, or for rapid production. Like those are my big three hopes to get that skill to proc. Like if that happens, like even like a handful of times to on any of those three skills, like we're in business. Like being able to do research now back to back twice, like that's like 2 days of speed ups right there almost. I think it's 20 hours a pop, so it's like a day in almost in point 0.6 or point 0.7, something like that. But like absolutely huge. So I'm really looking forward to getting to level 100 because I really want to see how lucky I can get with one more time. And I will follow up in like a little YouTube short or whatever and just kind of talk about like my experience with it and that sorts of stuff. But yeah, really looking forward to these last 4 skills, or more so last 3. I don't really care about Blast. But yeah, really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm already having a lot more fun with the engineer skill tree, as it just has a lot more like resource generating stuff that you can sink your teeth into. But yeah, if you let me know what you guys think. What's your favorite skill that became available in season 3, or that like you maybe didn't invest in season 2, and you found when you had more skill points in season 3, like you were really popping off and really enjoying it? Let me know down below. Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Is there a skill that I trash talked that you think is actually top tier? Like, feel free to drop a comment down below. Let me know. And finally, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, because all that sorts of stuff does help out the channel a whole bunch, and I do really appreciate it. If you liked it, feel free to just drop a comment. You made it to this far. Just say like thanks for the video or whatever, because that helps out a whole bunch. And feel free to share it with your alliance mates, because who else is going to watch Last War content other than the folks who were playing Last War? But yeah, I want to give a shout out to our member channel subscribers, our member people. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Really glad to have you here. The names will be popping up right about now. And with that, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one.